Hello everyone. Hope you are doing well. If you can hear me and see my screen, please quickly give a thumbs up or confirm in a chat. All right, let's begin. So I welcome you to our Lust of Linux series, Everything You Need to Know. And today is day 5, group management, that we are going to start. And before we go ahead, let me tell you one thing. So far in this is converted as a course. If you go on the channel and if you go on this one, course tab, okay, here there is a one thing. What's the advantage? I have converted this as a course, so if you are following along, so you can track your course progress through this, so rather watching it via a playlist. So it's up to you. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up. And if you are not a fan of live, then you could go to this our course tab. Then you will find this playlist or course where I have already recorded this previous class session. Okay, the next day 1 to day 3, all 3 parts, everything you can get over there. Or if you want to learn more about DevOps and other things, like GitHub, Jenkins, Kubernetes, Docker, so on and so forth, Terraform, everything. So you could find it over here. All right, so it's a quick update. Let's come back over here and talk about today's agenda. So in today's agenda, of course, we are going to learn some essential before we actually do the hands-on. And second part of today's session is group management hands-on, where we will do everything on the screen, on the terminal, rather I should say, and of course quizzes. And after that, we will wrap up the session with summary and your Q&A. So this is the LinkedIn group. Link is already in the chat and in the description. I'll put that as well, and also in comments. If you would like, you could join over there, or if you have any questions, or if you want to connect with me, this is the way you could communicate with me directly if you want to. Additionally, these are the social media handles. You could, as I say, whichever is convenient to you, just connect with me over there. And if you have any questions, you could ask. You can also drop them in chat and in also in comment section, and I'll do my best to reply. So let's start with group management essential. So in this, similar to like previously we learned about user management, similarly for group also there is a file slash etc group. Okay, in this file, so let's see, first understand, then we will go and understand on the terminal itself when we create a group. So if you open this file, for example, I have used this option add dash n and one. I wanted to see only one line or first line. That's why I use had, or first part of the file, and where we have a group root. Then here again, you could also, if you want to set a password, you could set a password for your group user as well. Okay, and the, the third field, so first field it's a username, second field again is the password, same as what we had in past wd file, and third one is the group id of the this user. So root is a very first user in a group or in on a system, okay, which has a id 0. Okay, and similarly, when I tell my etc group file, then I have one user, DSOQ, and similarly, it also has something like this. So let's see. The first field represents group, second one is password, and third one is GID. And here at the moment it does not have any additional group, so last will represent additional groups. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what is next. So what we will do, there are some quizzes as well, but we will come back after giving you more information, more insight about this, and then we will do the quizzes. Until then, let's switch back to the terminal. Here is my terminal, and very first thing, okay, if you want, so first of all, like last time, we have learned already how we can add user into a group. Sorry, not group, on the system. And whenever we create any user, so for example, currently I'm logged in as a DSOC user. So let's first see tell /etc passwd. Okay, and here I have this user DSOC. Okay, and when, if I want to see, I mean, of course, all the time it is not very convenient. Could not all the time go on this file, open a file and check what is this. Okay, so we have some commands which are very handy if you quickly want to check some of the information. So one command is id. So for example, if I put something like this, it gives me the user id, it gives me the group id, also the groups. Okay, so today of course it's our topic, groups, and here there are some additional groups as well, which is it that this user is a part of. This is one of the command you could check. Next command, there is one more command by which, if I'm interested to see only groups, okay, for a particular user, so I could execute a command groups, and then I could provide a user name. Okay, and then I get only the information related to the group. Okay, so there are two commands. We will also see other commands, but wait for that. Okay, so here we go. Now we know how we can check the groups of the users. Okay, if you are with me and if you are following along, let me copy these commands to you, and if you wanna try out at your system. Okay, so first command is id, second command is here we go, groups. It is not group. Okay, so for example, uh, if I do something like this, so I will get error kind of. Okay, so don't be confused with this one. So always remember it's a groups, plural. Okay, so let me clear the screen, and now we know how we can check the user id, okay, with the command. We don't need to open a file again and again. Okay, but we are learning, so I will also want you to use uh, the file as well. So let me open a file again, and this time we are gonna use group file. And here we go. Here we have, if you see on the system, I have only this user, and its id is also same. That's what we already discussed. Okay, but this last field, you might be wondering, in everything we do not have anything. So it's not like that we don't have at the end. Okay, so whatever additional users, sorry, not users, additional groups. Okay, my bad. So whatever additional users we will add into the group, because this is a group file, my bad about that, every users will be reflected over here. So I think it will be make more sense if I actually create and show you in hands-on, right? So we already saw we do not have any user over here. So what we will do first, so first we will add a user, and for that we know we have a command sudo user, then add, and we know we use -m option in order to create a home directory. Okay, we want to create a home directory. Let's go ahead. So let me put my password, and now if we tell, right, tell /etc passwd. Okay, so here we go. Here we have qa1 user is already created over here, but today we are more interested into the group, not in the user. Okay, so let me go back again, and this time let me clear my screen first, and this time what I'm going to show you, group. Okay, so group is also created and user is also created. So let me do one more thing. because I wanted to show you something, so that will make my life easier and we can move better in a session. And all right, dash n and okay. So if you see, when I created a user, okay, so by default, when you install your operating system very first time, Linux operating system or Ubuntu or anyone, so very first user what you create, it has a user number, it's 1000. Okay, after that, whatever user you create, it has a 1001, 1002, so on and so forth. And but at the same time, okay, user is also assigned a number. Okay, in this third field, it's a group, so this is a group ID of the user. And when we see in the group file, we could find something like this over here. Okay, so don't be confused, this field is a group and it also has, so this is called primary group. Okay, whenever you create a user, then same ID, okay, like user ID as well as the GID, so these are the both same. And by default, or I would say whenever these are both same, then you could say quickly check over here or over here, and you could say this is the primary group of this user. And we don't want user to only be a part of primary group, right? Actually, on the server we do administration and we manages the group, or we manage the group, not rather the only user. And whenever user is created, we want to add them into a group. Okay, so let's create a group. It's enough on the this part. Okay, so how we can create a group? For that we have a command sudo, then group add. Okay, so let me add a user group dev project. Very first group has been created. Let me check over here, and if you see, it has a group ID 1002. Similarly, if I want to create another group, then what command I could, same command I could use, sudo group add, and after that, let's say QA, we have a QA project. Okay, so we created a QA project group. Let's do it. And how we can check it? So we could check it like this, and it has a group ID 1003. Now next, when we create a next group on this or on the server, okay, it would be having the 1004 as a ID, group ID. Okay, and if we see, so we could quickly see, sorry, so 1003 is already assigned, 1004 next one. And similarly, if I want to create one more group, so I could use very simple, let's say data science, okay, project. So I have created one more group, and if I want to check the ID, so I will go to /etc group file, and I would say tell, and it means we already learned this in file management, right? So but tell, it means we want to only interested in last part of the file, and out of that, by default it gives us a 10 lines, and we are not interested in that. We only interested in one line, last one line. So we got the user, sorry, not the group, and group ID is 1005. So we created this many groups, right? And we also, okay, so we created QA user and we created 5 groups as well. So let's do one thing. Let me add one more user. Let me quickly check tell /etc passwd. All right, so we have only QA user. Let's add more user. So sudo user add, so we can play around. So let's say dev1, and again the same. And for this dev1, ops1, QA1 is already created. Let's create ops1, and let's create a data science one. So we have this many users, and we could confirm by this file. Okay, QA1, dev1, ops1, and ds1. All right, so these many users are there. And if I want to do something like this, -n5, and I got something like this. And similarly in group file also, right, I could say last 5 or 4, whatever. So we have this many projects, ops projects, right? Data science project, dev1 project, sorry, group, these are groups. So my bad. All right, so we have this many groups already created. We created more groups, right? So dev1 and this ID, Okay, these are, it's a group ID of the group. Okay, all right. So far we have seen how we can add user, how we can add group on the system. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know on this. These are very straightforward, pretty simple. Quickly, anyone, if anybody has any questions. Now I think it's what is it? Cool guy. Can you confirm it's what now means? Any questions or no questions? All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and see further. So very first thing we have, so far we have created users, we have created a group. Now we want to add a users. So the users which we created, let's say over here, okay, we have created this many users and we want to add them into a group. Okay, and in order to see which groups we have added, created, I mean, so we have created this one: dev project, QA projects, ops project, data science project. Okay, and these are the groups. So why I am giving you or calling this as a project, because in next session when we start permission, so we will see how we assign a permission. Okay, so we are preparing our foundation for our next session. So let's come back over here, and what I'm gonna do at the moment, if I say ID, we already learned this command. Okay, and or I could also say groups, dev1 user. So initially dev1 user has only one group. Okay, and here it is also confirmed it is not a part of any other group. So let's make it a part of a group. So what we could do, so in order to add a user to a group, so we have two commands. Okay, but let me tell you first command, which is we already know. Okay, then I will also tell you another command as we progress. So user mode, okay, we already learned about this previous in our day 4, right? So we can modify a user, and in this case we want to modify dev1 user. Okay, and to in order to modify, I could use -a and -g option. And why we are doing this? Because we are adding, appending, right, a user, or adding a user in, let's say dev, it belongs to dev project. Okay, and we wanted to add a user into dev project. And as I said, I explained you last time, whatever operation we are performing, okay, that user will come at the end in case of user, any user command which we are using. So in this case we are using user mode, and we are using -a and -g in order to add dev user into this group. Okay, so always remember we use this command in conjunction all together. So let's go ahead and perform this operation. Okay, which is done. And if I execute this command, so now I could see dev1 user is a part of group dev1. Of course it's a primary group. This one, it's a supplementary group. And how we can check it, we can also execute the command this one, and here you could see the groups. And you might be wondering, there is no supplement group or something like that over here, only we have option groups. Okay, so it is how it is. Okay, so you will not find a supplementary or secondary. Okay, but how you can identify, so user ID. Okay, and if you see the GID, by default this one. Okay, first, I mean, here you could see in this you won't find. Maybe you could say, or make your concept like this: first group is a your primary group or something like that. But in case if you want to check what is primary group, then you have this option. Okay, now we have added dev user into a dev group project. Now next, what I want to add, let's say use the same command, user mode A and G, and this time I'm gonna use ops project. Okay, and I want to add this user into this group. Okay, this time we are going to use tell etc group, and if you see over here, okay, what happened before, these fields were empty. Okay, these files are also helpful to identify, right? And you could see quickly, okay, ops project, so I have ops user one, which is a part of this. Maybe, I mean, I have just given a simple name. If you want, you could give them. Whenever you work on any project, you already have everything in plan, where you could uh, everything is predefined. I would say you know what group you have to create. Okay, whether it's a group admin, so you Linux admin, you can add a Linux admin. It's a git admin or git project or something, so you could create any group accordingly. Okay, so this is just a name, just for understanding. So here we have added ops1, here we have added dev1. Similarly, if I want to add another user, okay, let's say QA user. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, uh, QA and QA project. Okay, so QA1 added over here. Similarly, in have we created DS project? Okay, we have created that group as well. So let me clear this. So I use Control W in order to delete. So DS dash project, and I have DS1 as a user I wanted to create. Okay, and let me clear the screen, and if I go back over here, so you could see we have added these users into these additional groups. Okay, it's very simple. So this is one of the way. Again, it's a depend which way you like. Okay, I personally use user mod in order to add a user into a group. I will also show you how you use group mod. Okay, so that is an option, but in case if you need more information, so you could go over here, group add, and here you will get all the information. This is a manual page of the adding a or of adding a group onto on your server. Okay, synopsis, it means the syntax. Here we have options, and new group, it means the name of your group, whatever you want to create. Some description is over here, and this option, these options you could use over here. Okay, so here we have, for example, this option dash f. It's similar to like when we use mtdir dash p. Okay, so this is also same. If group is exit, then you won't get any. Here it's a exit with success status, so it means you won't get any error. Okay, similarly, go ahead and read about this. There are more options as well. If you want to set a password, you have this as well. Okay, and users list of the username to add as a member group. Okay, so this is one. Next thing we are gonna see, user mod command. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and see the user mod. So in case of user mod, what we could do, um, so very first thing, so we have created a user, sorry, not user, the group. Let me tell etc group. Okay, so I have created a user, let's say accidentally, or maybe not accidentally. Now the project, instead of data science DS, it means I said data science project. So this project is not anymore required. Instead, we want to give it a name like AI project. So how we could rename it? So very simple. We could use command sudo and user mode. Sorry, not user mode. I'm very used to with this group mode. Okay, and in this we could use dash n option in order to rename. So AI project, new name. Okay, so very first thing, sudo group mode, we have to use -n option. So remember this as a, we are changing a name. And after that, we want to give a name of the group we want to change. So we want to rename DS project into AI project. All right, so let me hit enter. Okay, and this time again we would run /etc group, and this time we are not going to uh, get everything. We want to only get AI project. Let's see this time what happened. AI project, okay, and here it was initially DS project. And how we can identify? By the number. So number is still same, right? And if you see, even though we renamed the group, but still the data science one user is still part of the data AI project. Okay, so this is first one option, or first option in modifying a user. Second thing, append a user to a group. Okay, so let's say first, I already explained you user mode is one of the command by which you can add a user, right? So that is for modification. Here also another command I'm gonna show you. So in that case, how we could add another user. So let me do again this thing. So for that we have option -u. So let me use command user mode -u, and I wanted to add ops1 user in this group. Okay, so I have used -u and AI project. Okay, no worries. So sorry, I have used a wrong command. It should be group mode. Okay, and we not have this one. We have to use this one, sudo group mode -u. It means we want to add this user into this one. Okay, this group. So I have done this. Let's confirm this. And this time what happened, I have added ops1. Okay, this user one was not before, but if you notice what I did, I have added ops user, but other user which was a data science one is no more part of the this group. Okay, so always remember, if you perform operation something like this and it already has many teams, okay, those are already working on the project, and if you perform something like this, then all users will not be a part of this group. So what we can do, so for that we have to use -a along with this. Okay, so -a, and what I could do again, I can add data science user one, DS1 user over here. And now if I check, so before, again I have data science user one over here. Okay, so always remember, whenever you are performing any operations on the group or user or any modification, so you have this user main page, so you can check, right, over here. Okay, so this is one of the way, but it's very cumbersome task, right? Every time you have to add a user, you are performing this command. So alternative way, in order to add multiple user in one shot, you could create a shell script, okay, that can also perform. But we also have a command, okay, because these are day-to-day operations thing you have to perform. So sudo group mode, then a-u, and which user I want to create, data science 1, dev 1, qa 1, and all these users I want to add into this project group. Okay, and this time if you see, first of all, we did not get any error. It means command got executed successfully. Now if I go and do something like this. So you see ops1 was already there, but ds1 was also already there, but I put it as a in this with this command. So no harm, just to show you it will remain the same. Okay, then dev1 and qa1. So in one go we have added all the users in this group. Okay, very simple, nothing crazy thing over here. Any questions so far? Okay, Pradeep mentioned user mode AG. Okay, happy to have you here, Pradeep. Thank you for joining. All right, guys. Any questions, guys? Please let me know. Okay, then I take it as a no, and let's move forward. So far we have added users, we have added groups, we rename a group, we added user into this group. Next thing, what we could do, yes, so we want to add a user, sorry, remove a user from the group. Okay, and for that, what we could do, we have a very simple, yes, we have a command to in order to remove a user from the group. So here we go. Let's say sudo, and this time not group delete. Okay, group delete is to delete a group. Okay, user delete command it's to, or user del it's command to delete a user. Okay, in order to remove a user from a particular group, user mode is not a way. We have g pass wd. Okay, and we have option dash d. But before I will show you that, I would like to show you one thing. Main pages for group mod. Okay, and we will come back again, then we will remove a user from the group. And here we go, modify a group definition on the system. So synopsis is the same, group mode, option, and the name of the group. And there are some options. So dash a is append. If you want to give a name, gid is one of the field, dash g, and we saw dash n. Okay, new name, unique. If you want to set password, again is the same, then this one. Okay, so we have uses. I have shown you over here this many options. If you want to explore more, go ahead and do your read this user manual. Okay, okay, now let's come back. So let's see this again, and this time we want to remove a user. So for that we have a option, command g pass wd. Okay, and in order to delete we have option dash d. And let's say I don't want qa user, so for this group, so qa1, and we know we are performing operation on group, so at the end we have to give a name of the group. So let's do this, and removing user qa from group ai project. Now done. So this user has been already removed from this. Okay, and yes, again the same thing, if you have multiple users to delete, then yeah, you have to execute this command one by one, or either you could create a script in order to remove a user. Okay, so I could give you a logic. If you want to type prompt right here on your favorite ai, so just write, okay, I want to remove a user, so give me a script or shell script or bash script, and user, I mean, user details can be read from a file and it can be removed. Okay, or maybe if you want to perform user input in that way, you would create a script. But one more thing we could do over here, sudo vim etc, and group. If I go in this file, and of course I'm at the end, sorry, shift G, and I'm at the end of the file. Okay, and I don't want the user is also in this group. Okay, this as well, and here I have just removed and save this file. Okay, that we already learned in how we can do this VI editor. Okay, and now if I run, so you could see these are not anymore part of the this group. Okay, so this is how we remove a user from a group, and that's it on removing part. Okay, if you want, you could go ahead and explore more about this, but basically you add a group on the server, you add into some users into that particular group, you modify a group, you rename a group, or you add a user as well as you remove a user from the group. Okay, these are the operations you could perform on a group. Next thing, and the last thing for the today I would like to mention over here, it's to delete a group. Okay, and to delete a group, it's very simple. Yes, so we have this command. Let me clear the screen, and let's say tel/etc group, and we have this many groups we want to delete. Okay, and we also know these are the part of the group. So let's delete sudo group delete. So I want to delete this, right? And I also want to delete QA project group. This is also gone. Ops project, it is also gone. Okay, so we have deleted already this group. Okay, we don't want to delete QA1, dev1, ops1, ds1. Okay, let's delete this as well, AI project. Let's keep it as is. Maybe we would. Okay, let's delete this. We will see next time what we are going to. So now if you see again, so all the groups has been deleted. So for that the command is group delete. Okay, so far we have learned group del. Okay, so if you see over here, we have very few options: forcefully, help, okay, and root, apply changes in chroot directory. We will see later on some prefix, and yeah, nothing special over here. Okay, so very simple. We could use, if you want to use more, we also have a file g shadow, right? Similarly, pass /etc shadow for users. We also have this file for the groups, but usually we don't add a user on the password on the group if it is I mean personally I never did this. Okay, I didn't find any scenario where somebody asked to create a password for the group. Okay, but in case if you want, go ahead and try those. Okay, I already explained you, and these groups we are not gonna delete, as well as this one pa passwd. Okay, I am also not gonna delete these users as well. If you want to delete, I have already explained in before, therefore how we can delete the users. So I'm saving this so we could use in our next session, where we will learn permissions and yeah, files and permissions. Okay, so that's it from my side on this. If you have any questions, please let me know, and if there is no questions, then we will move forward to quizzes. All right, so I tag this as a no, and let's go ahead and see what do we have. So okay, so very first question on this: which file contains user account information slash etc passwd slash etc group slash etc shadow slash etc g shadow. Guys, please answer. All right, we have answer. Okay, answer A. Anybody else? Okay, so that's what we learned in last, right, day 4. So etc passwd is a file where users account information is stored. We have next question, which file contains user group information? All right, so let's see the answer. So which file contains user group information? So which is slash etc group. Okay, so this is the file, sorry, yeah, slash etc. This is the file where we have the option where it stores the group. All right, so next we will see the hands-on quizzes, and here we go. So how do you add a user to an existing group? Usermod dash a dash g, usermod dash a dash u, group mode dash a dash u, and user delete. Come on, guys, answer. Just guess. All right. So here there are two options by which you can add a user to existing group. Okay, you could use user mod dash a and g. This is user mod by user mod command. Another one is group mod command, right? But always remember to use this as a option together. Okay, similarly over here as well. Next question, what command is used to add a new user? User add, user mod, user delete, I mean user del, and group del. Okay, again answer A. Cool. Okay, good. Yeah. So user add is a command by which we can add a user into a group. Okay. Next one, how do you modify a group in Linux? First option, sudo group mode dash and new group, old group. These are the name of the group. Then you have sudo group mode dash a dash u Mickey, Minnie, Tom, Jerry in friends group. Group mode dash a Alice, Bob in admin group. And option D, group mode dash dash delete admins. All right, so these are the answer. These are the two commands by which you could modify the user sudo sorry, not user, modify a group in Linux. Okay, so these are the two. By this command you can rename. So in modification you have two options. Either you are um, adding, I mean renaming a group, or you are adding a user into a group. Okay, so these are the two ways. So option A and option B is the correct one. Okay, and incorrect option C is invalid because dash A, there is no such option. Okay, and D is also invalid because group mode dash dash delete. Okay, instead group delete. All right, so it's end of the session, and it's a summary for today what we have learned. So I have explained group add in order to create groups, user mode dash A and G add user to a group, and we also modify, rename, and adjusting the membership of the group. So that's, we use group mode command, and then we have group pass wd dash d in order to remove a user from the group. Similarly, you also have option group delete in order to delete a group from the system. Okay, so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commands which I explained. And if you have any questions, please let me know, or maybe later when you do practice, questions come up, you could come back over here, drop in a comment, ask, or there are several channels by which you could connect with me and ask a question over there. So final call if you have any questions. All right, guys. So thank you very much for today's session. It's wonderful. And in next session, we are going to start permission and ownership. So today, so far, we have learned how we can navigate in the files and directory, and there are so many things as well which we learn right today. In last session we learn about the user management. In today's session we learn about the group management. In next session, and now our foundation is prepared, in next session we are going to learn how we set a permission and ownership using a group, using on the files, how we add a user into a group, or how if we shared a particular file. Okay, so we will do in next day 6 part, and that will be on Thursday 27 November 9:30 p.m. IST. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to connect with me on this LinkedIn group and also over here. And yeah, that's the end of the day, and thank you very much for your time and your attention, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye. And one more thing, if you like this video or this today's session or tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. This is the easiest way to support our channel, and if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel as well. And yes, in when you go on our upcoming live streaming, okay, there is option notify me. Don't forget to click that, so you will be notified when our next stream will be there. Okay, so see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye, and I wish you good start of the week.